Hi everybody, welcome back to Darlingbrough Model Railway. I'm Richard. Since my last video, the temperatures here in the UK have been absolutely amazing. We've actually had record-breaking temperatures of 40.2 degrees Celsius. That equates to over 104 degrees Fahrenheit, or the equivalent to gas mark 9. In my last video, I have been talking about how to prevent any damage from happening to your model railway, given the excessive weather and temperatures that we've been facing here in the UK. Of course, I was discussing steps that can be taken for existing model railways that have already been created and set up. In this video, I wanted to follow up with some hints and tips and things to consider if you are building a new layout, especially if you are working over the summer or if you are living in a very warm country, for example Australia, where the temperatures are going to be higher in general. If you are going to be starting to build a layout in a loft or attic, or if you're like me and want to live shed life, then one of the things I would definitely recommend is before you even start your layout, get some insulation up. Get some on the roof, get some on the walls. Not only will that help you in the winter when it comes to working in a cool environment, it will keep the warmth in, but it will also help you in the summer as well to keep the warmth out. Now, I'm not going to go into specific insulations that you should use. What I will suggest is have a look, see what's going to meet your requirements and obviously match your budget, and get the insulation, get any area that you're going to be working on a layout insulated before you start. If you have a model railway set up in a location that's subject to high humidity, you should also focus on ventilation as well. High humidity can really affect any woodwork or benchwork that you use for your model railways. High humidity can cause the wood to expand and contract and warp. Sadly, if you have benchwork that warps, it's going to take your layout with it. Again, there are steps to take that can help reduce humidity. Opening doors, opening windows, letting fresh air in obviously does help. And you can also potentially buy a dehumidifier as well, just to kind of dry out any of the air. When it comes to setting up a new layout, lighting is also something that you should consider. What I would recommend is try and use LED lighting when possible. As well as being incredibly versatile, one of the benefits of using LED lighting is that it gives off virtually no heat. So you're not worried about extra temperatures being added into the area where you're going to be having a model railway. Now, there are a huge variety of different types. You can get ones like these, which will replace your standard incandescent bulbs. You can get strip lighting. You can also get replacement bulbs for your standard halogens in LED. By adding the wrong type of bulbs, you may actually introduce extra heat where it's not wanted. What I would not recommend is use something like these to light up your model railway room. It will give off a lot of light, but it gives off a tremendous amount of heat. There is a reason I don't have this plugged in, and I'm not going to have this anywhere near my face because within about 10 seconds, my face would actually burn. If you are planning on setting up a garden layout, consider where you want to run your track. Perhaps you might wish to run the track in areas which are more shaded, so the track is not always exposed to direct sunlight. Whenever possible, try and include about 0.5 millimeter gap between any pieces of track that you lay to allow for track expansion in the heat. Obviously, track expansion does apply if you are building a new layout indoors as well. However, be mindful that if you are connecting track when the weather is very warm, if you put too much of a gap in, then the track may shrink and contract when the weather cools down again, and you may find that you end up with gaps between the track pieces, which obviously is something you want to avoid, otherwise you'll have lots of derailments. As well as the warmth from warm weather, if you are using tools such as soldering irons, heat guns, hot glue guns, or even maybe a hairdryer, remember they emit heat as well and will obviously add to the warmth of the atmosphere. It might be worth just leaving the jobs that require those type of tools until the evenings when the weather cools down a little bit, or maybe put it off until the weather cools down completely. Lastly, look after yourself as well. I know how tempting it may be to work on a model railway, especially when the weather is absolutely lovely outside. But if you are, remember to take regular breaks and stay hydrated. Try and avoid working in direct sunlight as much as possible, especially during around about lunchtime when the sun will be the hottest. Use sunscreen or cover up with a hat and a t-shirt, and if it does get too hot, then just basically take a break, go back to it later on in the evening. So I hope that these 7 hints and tips are going to be coming in useful, especially if you are building a new model railway layout over the summer, or if you are living in a warm country, for example like Australia, where the weather is going to be really warm all round. If you have any other ideas or tips that you think I've forgotten, then please drop me a comment down below and share your thoughts. Also, if you are planning a layout over the summer, let me know as well, because I'd be very interested to know what you've got planned. If you are enjoying the content of this channel and you want to help support me and the channel, then you can do by buying me a coffee. Simply go onto the link down below. You can make a small donation around about the same price as a coffee, and it all helps to keep the channel up and running and help me work on Project Big Shed, which is what I'm going to be doing on this channel soon. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel as well, and if you are interested, here are some more videos that you can watch as well. Thanks a lot.